Peace in, my fellow film fans. I am so excited to talk about my most anticipated movies of the remainder of 2021. I'm gonna break it down to 3 categories. The first category would be movies that I might see. These are movies that I'm interested in, but I'm less likely to see them. The second category would be the may see. These are movies that I'm intrigued by and I'm more likely to see them. And then the third category, the cruise should I, as they say, is the category of the must see. These are movies that I am invested in and I have to go see them. These are movies that I'm definitely going to go see. Stick tuned to the end because I might surprise you with my must see, one of the movies on the list, and I'm super excited. Let's roll with it. All right, starting off with my category of the might see. These are movies that I'm interested in, definitely interested in. However, I'm less likely to see them, so I'm not that interested in. And I want to start off with my number 4, Tragedy of Macbeth. You know, here's the thing, guys. You got Denzel. What else can I say besides Denzel? You know, it's super exciting. I mean, I grew up on the classic literature of Macbeth and the plays. Super awesome stuff. So yes, this movie I am interested in. I might see, but the trailers and everything, it's not that intriguing to me. It's really just because of Denzel, and I got a curiosity about it. So that will sit at my number 4 in the might see category. Number 3 is Clifford and the Big Red Dog. Look, folks, my kids, I got kids. My wife, we got 4 kids. My daughter, my oldest kid, she absolutely loves Clifford. She loves Big Clifford, as she say, not the Little Clifford, even though she used to love Little Clifford. But she is very, very adamant about loving Big Clifford. But it's always been animated. So the idea of live action Clifford and the Big Red Dog, that's pretty interesting. I'm really interested in it. However, it's live action. I'm not quite sure if the same creative team of the animated one is behind it and if they can pull off the live action. I'm just a little bit weary of that. So I'm interested and I might see it. And let's face it, it's really on the list because if my kids want me to see it with them, I'm going to see it with them. So that is the number 3 in my might see category. Number 2 in my might see category is, you might be surprised by this, it's No Time to Die. Listen, guys, I am a James Bond fan. I'm not a super fanatic. I'm not gun-ho crazy about James Bond overall, but I am a fan of James Bond. And I'm particularly a fan of Daniel Craig's version of James Bond. But let's be honest, guys. Look, they've put out 4 before No Time to Die. 2 have been major hits. I am a fan of Skyfall. I'm a fan of Casino Royale. But boy, did I not like Spectre. That's the most recent movie. I was just not interested in Spectre. I was very, very disappointed in it. And that's the movie that we're coming off of. And honestly, the trailers for No Time to Die haven't really wet my beak enough. I'm not that interested. It's just not something that seems to be interesting. The trailers weren't cut in a way where it displayed the story in an intriguing enough way for me. So that will be my number 2 in my might see category. And number 1 in my might see category is The Last Duel. Look, the cast is fantastic. You got Matt Damon, you got Ben Affleck, who is a much greater actor than I think he gets credit, and Adam Driver as well. So I'm super excited to see what these performers are going to do all in a movie together. This is the first time I think in a long time that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are in a film together. So I'm super excited to see the return of these two bros, if you will, on the big screen. So that's really intriguing, but also the story is really intriguing. The idea of, this last duel, this husband fighting for really his honor, but also protecting his wife, and just the medieval times, the setting. Like, I'm just also interested in it. And the trailer was really, really awesome. However, it's a might see. It's my number one in my might see. So it's almost in a may see category, but it's just not enough to quite get me glued in as much as the rest of the movies that's on this list. But it is on the list, and it's number one on the list, and I might see it. So that is my list. What is your list of movies in the remainder of 2021 that you might see? Let me know in the comment section below. In the meantime, I'm gonna move on to the next category, and that is the may see category. These are movies that I'm intrigued by, and I'm more likely to see them. Number 4 on that list is King Richard. Look, guys, first of all, Will Smith. I'm a big fan of Will Smith, but look, I'm super excited to see what they're going to pull off in this movie. I think they got some fantastic performers, but I'm also intrigued by the Williams sisters' story. I mean, I did not know that their dad was heavily involved in their success. And as I mentioned before, I'm a dad myself. In fact, I'm a father of 2 girls myself. It's just very intriguing story to me. So I am intrigued, and I am more likely to see this. So this is definitely in the may see category. Number 3, Encanto. Speaking of my girls, I mean, they are really excited about Disney movies, and I'm really intrigued by this idea of this family with all magical powers and abilities and stuff. But there's the one who has no magical abilities, and just interested in where the story's going to go. Disney Animation has had some awesome movies put out. They've had some not so awesome movies too. So I'm a little trepidatious about it, but I am interested. I am intrigued rather, and I may see this. And again, let's be honest, it's probably my girls that's going to bring me in, and my kids. We have family night every week. We watch movies. Why not? Of course. And this might be something that we just gotta see. So Encanto is gonna be my number 3. Number 2 in my may see category, that is The King's Man. I mean, look, if I'm a fan of the Kingsman franchise, the first one absolutely kicked butt. I mean, seriously, it was phenomenal. Just blew me away. Didn't know what to expect. Samuel L. Jackson was just amazing. Taron Egerton, I mean, just all of the cast. They did an amazing job with the first one. I wasn't as hyped about the second one, although I liked the second one more than most. So I'm still intrigued in its franchise, but particularly this one, I'm excited to see, how did this organization get started? What in the world is the origins? So I'm intrigued to see what's going on. And of course, I'm really excited about The King's Man. I may see it. Again, this is in the category of my number 2 that I'm more likely to see it. And the number one movie that I may see is Venom. Now, I know it's already come out at the time of this recording. I have not seen it yet. I may see it because here's the reality. I really like the first Venom. It was really cool. Now, I know it wasn't reviewed well, but you know what? Forget those guys. I loved it. It was exciting. It was entertaining. But let's be honest, I'm also excited to see what kind of possible MCU connections are to link there. And so I'm really excited to see. Unfortunately, I've had it spoiled to me what happens at the end credit scene of Venom. And maybe that's probably what's bringing down my excitement about seeing this movie, because I kind of already know what happened. I've had it spoiled. But nevertheless, that's where I'm at. That's the honesty. What about you guys? That's my number 1, and that's Venom in the may see category, which is movies that you're intrigued by for the rest of the year. You more likely to see it, and it's not in the highest category, which, speaking of that, let's get into that. My most anticipated movies. These are movies that is the must-see category, movies that I'm invested in and I am guaranteed to see. So this is the highest of the highest, the lowest, and like I said, I got a surprise in this list for you, but I'll start with number 5, The Matrix Resurrections. I mean, come on. It's first of all Keanu Reeves. he is fantastic. I mean, he's one of my favorite people in Hollywood. Not just one of my favorite actors, but I absolutely love Keanu Reeves. Just completely blew me away with the first Matrix coming out. Of course, won all of us over with the John Wick series. Just check out my Movie Pie episode of the first John Wick movie, and you'll see just how much I love Keanu Reeves in that series. But I'm also intrigued by the Matrix itself. Like, I'm a big fan of the Matrix, like most of you and most of everybody in the world. I mean, seriously, the Matrix, the first one was revolutionary. If Matrix Resurrections were coming out a decade ago or so, or maybe shortly after the second movie, the third movie came out, I don't know that I will be as interested. But after seeing John Wick and after getting some distance, being out of the Matrix world, I'm ready to get back in. I don't know about you. Are you ready to get back in? So yes, it is in number 5 spot of my must-see category. This means that this is a movie that I am invested in and I'm guaranteed to see, and that is Matrix Resurrections. At number 4, Dune. Oh my goodness. Talk about a ensemble cast. And what I'm super excited about for me is the director. Denis Villeneuve is just amazing. I love every single one of his movies. I put it up the top. I am just so intrigued by what his perspective is going to be. I love his direction. And here's the thing. I'm not a big, not that I'm not a fan of the Frank Herbert, Dune series. I'm an epic fantasy author or writer. I'm an epic fantasy reader, but I haven't actually read those stories yet. But I've gotten some glimpses here and there, and I'm very, very intrigued in just storytelling and overall that it's going to be in this movie. So I'm super excited, but that is my number 4. Number 3 may surprise you guys. As a comic book fan, as a film fan, a fantasy fan, and all those things, it may surprise you what my number 3 most anticipated movie of the remainder of 2021 is, and that is this: American Underdog. Yes, I am a huge fan of Zachary Levi, so that right there is already, check it off. That's a win for me. But here's the other thing. I am just a sucker for inspirational stories, really good inspirational stories that is extremely intriguing. And particularly the story of Kurt Warner. I mean, that is just an amazing heroic story for me personally. I love football, I love the game of football. So there's a lot of things connected here with me and as a father and, all of these things. I just absolutely love it. And the trailer just blew me away. Just sign me up. Where's my ticket? I'll be there in the theater. So that's my number 3, American Underdog. Absolutely looking forward to it. And now I get into my number 2. Eternals. I mean, look, you guys had to know that it's on this list somewhere. I'm a huge MCU fan. I am super excited about Eternals for a number of reasons. One, the cast, just from here to here, phenomenal, super amazing. The trailers have not completely blown me away like I wanted to, but they've been pretty good. They've gotten me even more intrigued about the Eternals. Of course, you know about the Eternals in the comics. These are going to be very, very different, but I want to know more about the Celestials. I want to know more about the Eternals and what's been going on. What's this new threat? All of these different things. I got a lot of speculations, but I'm super excited to get the Eternals coming to the big screen, and I will be there. This is absolutely a must-see for me. I gotta see what is the next phase of the MCU. What are they gonna bring with the Eternals? I have a little suspicion that there's be some cool things, let's just say, some MCU universe, some expanding that will take place in the Eternals. So I'm super excited to see what that's gonna bring, and I'm just intrigued by the story that's spanning for thousands of years. I really want to see where are they going to take this, and particularly looking forward to that post-credit scene as well to try to see what kind of glue are they going to stick in with the Eternals. So that's my number 2. Absolutely excited about that. And here it is, guys, my number 1 most anticipated movie of the remainder of this year. You probably can guess it. It is absolutely Spider-Man No Way Home. Listen, the trailer was just knock your socks off. Right there. Vomit my excitement out to the world. I am excited for Spider-Man No Way Home. Listen, I love the first 2 movies. I really love them. I mean, just phenomenal. I am a big fan of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but I was also a big fan of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I was a big fan of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. 3 different takes on Spider-Man, and I actually enjoyed all three of them for the different flavors that they bring. And why am I bringing them up? Because, hey, they might be in this movie. In my opinion, I were to guess that, yes, they are going to be in this movie. I think that we're probably going to see them within the next trailer, which I anticipate is going to drop around the time that Eternals come out. But here's the thing, guys. I am blown away by Doctor Strange being in this movie. I love their interactions in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. So I'm super excited to see, hey, what are we going to get between the dynamics of these two guys in the MCU? What are we going to get with the multiverse? We already know that the villains of the other Spider-Man movies, they're going to be here. So I'm super excited. I mean, Doc Ock, one of my favorite villains of all comic book movies, he's going to be in here. So like, I'm so pumped to see what are we talking about here. And of course I mentioned the, end credit scene with Venom. Spoiler, sorry. But I'm just super excited to see what are they going to do with that. If they're going to do anything with it, we don't know. But that's why I'm saying this. I want to know. I'm so excited. I can't wait until we get to Spider-Man No Way Home. So that is my list. My number one most anticipated movie, my number one movie in my must-see category. What about you? What is your must-see list? What are the movies that you are guaranteed to see no matter what? A nuclear bomb could not stop you from getting out there and seeing these movies. Comment in the section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, movie fans, that is my list, but what about your list? Comment in the section below, throw it down there. I'm super excited to see the list that you guys have. If you want, break it down into categories if you want, or you can leave just one of the categories. Either way, I'm super excited to see what you guys want to put. And here's the thing, if you like this, give me an up and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned because I got a whole lot of stuff coming at you for the remainder of the year. Until then, this has been Trey MacVelle, and I say unto you, peace out.